topic animation. Before proceeding with today's workshop, let me introduce the speakers of the day. We have with us Mr. Kinshuk Sunil. He is the founder of Folks, Control All Delhi, and Indie Dev India. Mr. Kinshuk Sunil is the official Mozilla representative India. He has vast experience in community engagement, reputation management, and brand creation. He has also reviewed a number of blogs on games and technology. He is an alumnus of Shriram College of Commerce. Currently, he is seeing as the director of Hashtag Studios and handling key areas like game design, community engagement, sound and music, and business development. We also have with us Mr. Ravish Malik. Mr. Ravish Malik, who is an engineer by profession and have certification from Maya Academy of Advanced Cinematics in Digital Design and CG Animation. He possesses with him a vast experience of developing various gaming applications and websites. He has also worked as user interface designer and brand designer for various clientele. We also have Mr. Arjun Agarwal with us. Mr. Arjun Agarwal is a graphic designer by profession. He is a specialist in conceptualizing, storyboarding, flash animation, and motion graphics. Now, I would like Ms. Shamita Kapoor to kindly come on the stage and felicitate the guests with the bouquet of flowers as a token of appreciation. Now I request Sir to commence the session.
Thank you very much. If you can hear me, I would try and avoid the podium because I tend to become invisible behind the podiums. Am I audible to everyone? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for this welcome. My name is Kinshuk. I started this company called Hashtag Studios. And we are an independent game development company. Today we are here to discuss with you animation and to walk you through to a software called Flash. It was a software which was created by a company called Macromedia, which was later bought by Adobe, and now it's the Adobe Flash. So I have my team members Ravish and Arjun with me. Arjun would walk you through to Flash, but I would like to take some time to know you better and to introduce you to gaming and animation and its relevance to you people and the career opportunities that you can have there. So I was told that there are MCA 4th semester and 2nd semester students here. So how many are the 4th semester students? Okay. And 2nd semester? Okay. And how many of you have had some previous experience with animation or game development, anything related to that, multimedia? No one? Okay. Anyone with any industry experience, software development, anything? Okay. So before we begin, I would want a volunteer who would tell the rest of us about what they know about gaming and animation. What do they think what gaming is or what animation is? Who would be the volunteer? No volunteers, and I'll pick people myself. So how about you, sir? The one behind you. And you have to tell your name as well. Akshat, 4th semester? Okay. So Akshat, what do you think game development and animations are? Okay. But they are expecting something from you about game development or animation. Do you watch animated movies? Not really? Kung Fu Panda? No Pixar stuff? Okay. You have to tell your name as well.
My name is Amit.
Amit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Game development is related to artificial intelligence. We are
Okay.
just we can say it's a subset of artificial intelligence. Like for game development, we go for artificial intelligence. Like we have played chess. A basic example is chess game, in which we are playing with a computer.
Okay. Amit, do you play games?
Yeah.
Other than chess? Okay. Which is your favorite game?
I play like racing games.
Okay. Need for Speed? Which version?
Underground.
Underground. So what was the best feature of Underground that you liked?
There's animations and all, and graphics also.
Okay.
And the features
Do you
they
remember
have-
any specific animation?
I played it long ago.
Okay. So anyone can remember some specific animation that they really liked in some popular art which others might also know?
So NFS boost,
The Nitro Boost. Okay. I'm not sure if everyone knows that. Can you share that animation experience?
It's when you press the button, the car which is moving, there's a blue glow at the back of the on the exhaust of the car. The car moves faster.
Okay. And there's this huge blur. Everything on the screen gets blurred because your speed has just increased. So, sorry, your name and semester.
My name is Samarth.
Summer and semester?
Fourth semester.
4. So, Samarth, why do you think you really like that animation? Why you can really remember that distinct animation?
I don't know, sir, it just clicked with me.
Okay.
When I play the
Uh,
game, I like it.
the reason that I would put forward that specific animation, that part where you use the nitro boost and your car speeds and everything blurs, you like that or you recall it because it had that realistic impact on you. It would make you feel that you're driving a real car which is behaving in the way a real car should at that speed, right? So actually that was not an animation because it was a very distinct mathematical calculation which was being done on a real object. Okay, animation would be where you create models, okay, or specific frame sets, and then you create this motion between them. So if you end up recording that that thing happening in the game as a video or as a set of moving images, it would then become an animation. So okay, so how many people have seen Disney animated movies or Pixar animated movies? How many? What? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 people watch animation movies, no one else does. Okay, so 9 people please. Okay, someone other than this has to tell me why are they here? Black jacket, red shirt. Why are you here? Do you have interest in animation?
Yeah.
What is your interest in animation?
Because basically used in everywhere, like websites and all. Animations are taking the world when we talk about computers and all.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate? Or someone wants to add something to it? Anyone?
How the animation map the real world so realistically
Mhm.
on the computer screen,
Mhm.
how they do and what calculations.
Isn't that like painting? So an artist, a painter makes a painting, and on a blank canvas they would paint something, and it could be something very abstract, or it could be something very realistic, right? So it is the skill set of the painter, not the canvas, not the brush, not the colors. So what is the interest in animation? So who all is interested in animation? Please feel free, please ignore the faculty member sitting here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people are interested in animation. Okay, so the other people, please tell me what takeaway do you want from here? What do you want to learn from here today? And I'll give you that. You. No. The girl in purple. Yes. No.
I want to learn the Flash.
Tool.
Yes.
But you were not in the 12 people.
But I want to learn it.
Okay. Okay. So that is something that Arjun would give you. What do you want from me? See, because if everyone is waiting for Arjun, I would shut up and go and sit, and Arjun would take over. Nothing? Okay.
Maybe after listening, we could create like
Okay. So now that's a very difficult thing to do, to create an interest into something very new.
If we like on that, we will.
Okay.
Find animation company work.
Okay.
You can
So
help it.
that would bring me back to the topic that I had in mind about the career opportunities in animation or the gaming industry. Uh, for which I would take a few minutes and talk about how games are made, how animations are made. Okay, so the objective of making an animation is to tell a story. Okay, any animation that you see is telling a story. So there are some very distinctive roles that are required in telling a story. The first would obviously be the storyteller, the story writer, who would write the story. Then there would be a creative guy who would take that story, which is basically an idea, a concept expressed in text, and create images or 3D models or real recordings of people based on that text, on that story. So story, real like animated, like raw material for animation, and then there would be an animator who would take that raw material, would take those images or models or real videos and compile it into an animation. Now this compiling part is something that Arjun would talk about, but we now know that there are three roles that the animation industry needs. Animation industry needs a story writer, it needs a creative guy, a graphics guy who will make the graphics, and it needs an animator. But there are gaps here, because these three people work in three different domains altogether. The story writer is a person who can think of stories and characters and relationships. He cannot think of what the graphics guy would need from it. So he'll end up writing a story. The graphics guy would take that story and it'd be at a loss. He'd be completely lost about what he's supposed to do with that story. It's like having a novel and trying to figure out what you want to show in that novel. So there's this guy who plays the role of a bridge between the story writer and the graphics guy. This guy is usually called the conceptualizer or the storyboard artist. So what this guy does is, he takes the story, he'll break the complete story, the screenplay, into chunks of frames. He'll say that, okay, this particular scene, this dialogue between these two characters is made of 5 distinct moments, and he'll create a storyboard of those 5 distinct moments, which will show the key movements of the characters or the key statements by them. Now the graphic designer will take this storyboard and he will make the animations according to it, and he'll create those frames and he'll give it to the animator. The animator will take that and he will use those frames as guides and create the motion between them. Okay, so these moments are moments in time which might be separated by even minutes in the animation, but they are guides. They are the guides for the graphic designer and the animator on how the story would flow. So now we know that in making an animation, we have 4 roles to fill. We have the story writer, we have the conceptualizer, we have the graphics designer, and we have the animator. But you cannot tell stories without emotions. Emotions are expressed in 2 ways. The first very important way is the visual expression. The second very important way is audio expression. So any animation would not be complete without audio. And there might be some animations which have no audio, but because there was no audio required. So now there's another role that we are filling in, which is that of the sound engineer, the person who would mix the sound with the animation. But then the sound needs to be created. So there would be a music composer as well. So now we know of 6 distinct roles that are required in making an animation: story writer, conceptualizer, graphics designer, animator, music composer, and sound engineer. But when you're making a huge, long animation project, not just a small clip, someone has to ensure that this whole animation sticks to the original roadmap, right? Because probably someone is financing that project. someone is paying the bills. So you need someone to pay the bills as well, right? The financer is usually the producer. Then there would be some guy who would be ensuring that the roadmap and the timeline and the creative vision is preserved. This guy is usually the director. So 6 and 2 more. Now, we know that these 8 roles are there when making an animation. These 8 roles are present even in a small animation, even in a huge animation. In the smaller animation, a single person can fulfill probably multiple roles. But as the projects become bigger, there are multiple people filling in the single role. So instead of having one graphics designer person, a team might have 10 graphics designers, depending on the complexity of the animation. So now, out of these 8 roles, where do you think you fit the most? What role do you think you guys will be fulfilling? Will you be story writers? How many wants to be story writer? No one wants to be a story writer. No one writes stories, poems here. Okay. Anyone wants to be the conceptualizer? Someone who takes the text and creates the concepts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, maybe. Samarth is not sure. Okay. Graphics designer Samarth? Hopefully. Okay. So you'd probably go for something that you can get. Okay. So Samarth is not sure about conceptualizer. Who is sure about being a conceptualizer? The concept artist. Okay. No one likes to paint, draw, sketch. Yeah, college students are very good at doodling. That's what we do during classes. Okay. One guy. You like to doodle? Okay. Graphics design? 3 people. Okay. 4, 5. Use tools like Photoshop, Paint, GIMP, Corel Draw. Okay. Animators. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So people who learn Flash would be people who predominantly fulfill the animator role, but they will have the skill set to complement the graphics design role as well. And a person who's really skilled at these tools will also have the skills to conceptualize. Okay. He might have the skills to conceptualize, he will not be a concept artist. So hopefully we'll convert some of you into animators today. What were the roles after animator? Yeah, what? Sound engineer, composer, producer, director. Anyone interested in any of these roles?
Producer.
No one from a rich family here? Okay. College rock band? Okay. Singer तो है यार कोई? Okay. 2 singers. Okay. So, these 8 roles and the number of people around it is what is essentially required in the animation industry. But how big is the industry? Any wild guesses? How big is the animation industry? Crores, millions, something is very vague. Yeah. Wild guesses does not mean completely vague. Okay. Do you think the animation industry worldwide is bigger than Hollywood? No?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Please decide.
Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the no's are in majority. Yeah. So, the majority thinks that the animation industry is not as big as Hollywood. But the fact is that the gaming and animation industry worldwide is thrice the size of Hollywood. I included gaming here because gaming and animation are so linked together, then it's very difficult to figure where animation ends, where gaming begins. They are very closely associated. So when we talk about industries, we talk about the gaming and animation industry. So this industry is thrice the size of Hollywood. But that's not a big achievement. Because Bollywood is bigger than Hollywood. Right? So who cares about Hollywood? So what about in terms of Bollywood? अब तो guess कर लो यार, Bollywood Hollywood को बता दिया.
Still bigger.
Still bigger, obviously. How big? So if gaming and animation is size of Hollywood, how big is it compared to Bollywood?
Twice.
Twice? So Bollywood is 1.5 times of Hollywood. Bas. Hollywood makes 400 movies a year, yeah. Bollywood makes 800 years of movies a year.
But the animation Bollywood movie it does not contain that much, it does not attract as much light as Hollywood movies attract.
Yeah, but we are not talking about the quality of animation in Bollywood. We're talking about the size of the industry.
But still, in Hollywood movies, there is a quite scope of animation, but in Bollywood there is no scope of animation.
So that is a different debate. I'm not trying to compare the quality of animations in Bollywood right now. I'll come to that. That is a very considerable issue. I'll come to that. What I'm trying to emphasize here is that if you look at the global trend, if you look at the how big the pool is for animation or for people who would be making animations, thrice the size of Hollywood means twice the size of Bollywood, which you guys guessed. In terms of revenues, in terms of money, that is around 700 crores per year. That's the size of animation industry globally. In India, yes, it's India. Yes. In India, yes, it's considerably very less right now. The gaming and animation industry in India is only priced at 14 billion rupees per year. It's expected to touch 50 billion within the next 5 years, and that's an increase of almost 3 times, 4 times. 3.5 times. So that's the scope for you people. You are part of an industry which is growing to grow at least twice its size right now within the next 5 years. You have that opportunity, you have that potential. Now what is most important is how do you build that skill set? Because everyone wants that money, right? Anyone who doesn't want that money? Who doesn't want to earn a crore rupees in a year? You don't want to earn a crore rupees?
More than crore.
10 crore? भैया उसके लिए smuggler बनना पड़ता. So the only way you can earn crore rupees in a year is probably by participating in one by a crore. Because we are still at a very nascent stage. We need to learn, we need to build our skill sets. Probably by the end of next 5-7 years, we'll start earning a decent amount, a couple of lakhs per year. So now, did I convert any not interested in animation to animation? No? Come on, yeah. Money is a very good motivator. At least one should be converted. No one? Okay. So, do you guys have any questions about this industry that you would like to know? You would want answered? Because just sitting here today, trying to figure out what roles you can play, how these tools and these skills can help you in your career, how you can get a better career opportunity once you get out of college in this industry. So anything that you want to know about this industry? Yes, Samal.
We have to be very good in coding to be an animator.
So if you look at the roles that an animation requires, there's no coder there yet. There's story writer, concept artist, graphics designer, animator, composer, engineer.
Animator, when you say the word animator.
Yeah. So the animator takes images or models and creates motion in them. Okay, so yes, there are some tools that emphasize on coding to create that motion, but that is not a necessity. You don't need to be a coder to be an animator, but with some tools, to be at the advanced stage of those tools, you would learn coding. So if we talk of Flash, even Flash has coding. Flash has a language called ActionScript, which is used to create interactive animations. So animations are of various types. One is a plain animation where a movie is playing and you're watching it, and then there are animations where you interact with the animation and the animation would respond accordingly. So when we talk of interactivity, the code would come. But in general, when we talk of animation, we don't mean interactive animation. The reason gaming and animation is put together is gaming is at many occasions interactive animation. So, any other questions about gaming and animation?
Is there any difference between the gaming industry and the animation industry?
There is a difference, yes, but there is not a difference as well. So, if you look at gaming and animation,
Because gaming is quite interactive with the user. And for partners and animated movies are not that much interactive with the user.
yes, that is the difference. But if you look in terms of the industry and the skill set, animation is a subset of gaming, and yet animation moves in completely different domains like movies, etc. Right? So, in terms of the gaming industry and the animation industry, they are very closely related. There is a very thin line between them, and those distinctions are very difficult to make. In terms of skill set, in terms of tools, they are very similar. But in terms of the roles that you play, in terms of your life cycle of the project, they are pretty different. Does that answer your question? Okay. Any other questions?
To enter in the animation industry, after MCA, doesn't he required to do any certification?
Okay. See, MCA is a course where you learn applications of computing to various domains. So, if you look at your curriculum, you're not being formally trained into animation. You would definitely have papers on multimedia and computer graphics, I'm pretty sure. Do you have them? Yes. So these are the fundamentals of animation or game development, because at the end of the day, you're doing some graphic manipulation, some multimedia work on a computer system, right? So they do form the fundamentals of animation, but they are not formal education in animation. So yes, if you seriously consider a career in animation, you would need formal education in animation, which would primarily be training programs on different tools from institutions like Arena or Agni or IGA or MAC. Such institutions provide those courses. Any other questions?
Sir, can you elaborate the conceptualizer, what he actually does and what are the skill sets required to be conceptualized?
Okay. So the concept artist or the conceptualizer is the person who would take the story input and convert it into a format which is much more understandable for the graphic designer. What that means is, the story might have a section where the scene begins with the sun is rising and our hero walks through the jungle as a valiant hero after destroying a demon or something. Okay, but the graphics designer won't know how that should be shown, right? The graphics designer can show it probably in 10 different ways. So the concept artist would work with the director and figure out the creative vision for that project, and then he would create a set of simple sketches which show that scene. So it would be some different occasions from that scene, probably a scene showing the sun rising, a frame showing the hero walking from a long shot, a frame of the hero in a close-up, okay, and he has to do the imagination of what that setting would look like.